today, both spiritually and mentally. I was shocked. I have no idea why, to be honest. But for whatever reason, like I was fucked. I was wrecked. Physically, I didn't feel that bad. I mean, I assessed myself a few times, and I felt alright. I mean, the session started off pretty well. The run to warm up felt good. And the split squats to just open up my hips. After yesterday's deadlifting felt good. Didn't feel too tight. But for whatever reason, I couldn't get my mind right. My energies was so off today. So off. After doing the bent over rows, I don't even know how to put it into words. I've been thinking about it now for a little while. And yeah, I just couldn't. I felt like I couldn't get a grip, so to speak, and I couldn't take control of the command center and just fucking decide what it was that I wanted to do and what it was that I wanted to achieve today. Now, on a personal level, one thing I love the most about whatever you want to call this, my Train Every Day program, is the liberating feeling of never planning per se what you want to do, but having an idea. Like, you always have an idea. Oh yeah, today I feel like doing this. Oh, today I feel like doing that. But you don't know until you get there what you're going to do. And to be honest, I didn't know until I finished my splits course. I didn't know that I wanted to bend over row. And it didn't really make sense to me that I wanted to bend over row because I deadlifted yesterday. I felt like I wanted to bend over row, so I went and bent over row. And then after that, I don't even know where I was. I was completely shocked. I felt like I wanted to do some pull-ups. So I got on the bar, started messing around, greasing the groove on the pull-ups, thinking, okay, let me get into the rhythm of pull-ups and then maybe I'll feel all right. And then during the pull-ups, I started to feel sick. Like, my head was that gone. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I don't feel like that. Ever. Period. But for whatever fucking reason, I felt a bit nauseous. And I was like, nah, fam, I'm certain, nah, I can't accept this. This ain't on. This is not on. I was kind of, I don't want to say pissed at myself, but yeah, like I was a bit pissed at myself. And the only thing that I felt myself drawn to as borderline punishment was running. But it wasn't just punishment, because I'm not really that kind of person. I've never really been drawn to that idea of like mentally punishing yourself in order to, that's just, well, not even in order to do anything. That's just never been the frame that's worked for me. And even today, like, that wasn't the overriding frame. It wasn't the dominant frame of what I ended up choosing to do. However, I was drawn to the treadmill. I was drawn to a run. And I felt like, because my body felt good, I felt like I wanted to run harder than I have been recently. Because my focus with running recently is literally just getting my body accustomed to the movement. As weird as that might sound for some people, I've never ran consistently in my entire life. Ever. I've played football my whole life, but anybody who plays football knows that running and football are two completely different things. So I've been very, very focused on my technique and running well recently. Not fast, not hard, just running well. Just to give my body some acclimatization period. Like, mentally in my head, I've committed to that for a month or so. However, as I've already done, here and there, I'm going to, just being the person I am, I'm going to be inclined to run fairly hard. Hard for me. I'm relatively speaking, I'm a bad runner. I'm not a good runner. I don't run long. Anyway. So relative to me and my level as a runner, I ended up running pretty hard today, which felt nice in the end. But honestly, I'm trying to figure it out as I speak. But I think it may take a day or two to figure out. I may just have to write off the experience before that run, because prior to that run, I wasn't in the driving seat. I wasn't dictating what it was that I wanted to think, feel, or do. I was very susceptible to everything around me, which is unlike me. But it happens. Like, we can't be perfect. We can't be perfect all the time. But the run was good. The run was nice. That work felt good. Prior to that, all the hard work didn't feel great. And I can imagine that I've abused my dopamine slightly today. Due to it being the World Cup, I trained a little later than I usually do during the week. I watched the England game. I very much fucking enjoyed the England game, especially as an Arsenal fan. So I can imagine that today my dopamine was slightly out of whack. And as I've been learning more and more about dopamine over the last 6 or so months, I'm just being way more aware of it and the patterns that play out throughout my day and what tends to cause subtle effects in how working hard in the gym feels, has made me really respect it, really respect dopamine, and really, really respect how I use and abuse it and the times in which I use it throughout the day. So today, I think it could be potentially put down to dopamine, how would I put it? Dopamine mismanagement, due to experiencing high spikes in my dopamine earlier on during the day. It's naturally going to make, and that I'm free, and for free as well. They weren't spikes that I had to work for or own. So that's naturally going to make hard work feel more difficult. But the only thing that draws me away from that theory is how I felt during the run. As soon as I started running, I felt like I was back in the driver's seat. As soon as I hit that 5-minute mark on what was a 10.5-minute run at the end, I felt like, yeah, I'm in the driver's seat. I'm choosing now. And I was running harder than I have been in order to get my body used to the movement, of the exercise, should I say. So it was a strange one. It was a really, really strange one. And it kind of led me to ask the question, like, what do you do? Like, what can be done? What can be the play, so to speak, when you don't feel like you're in the driving seat? You don't feel like you are in control of the command center, when you're spiritually and mentally slightly out of whack. Like, what can you do in order to still get some good work in, some fulfilling work in, some dopamine inducing work in? And the only answer I could really come up with is whatever you're enjoying the most in your training right now. Like, I remember years ago when I was a teenager, I asked somebody who I really looked up to. He was one of the people who first introduced me to the idea of self-education. And he said to me, I asked him this specific question, like, what do you do? What can I do when I'm not enjoying the gym? Like, how can I get myself back into it? And he just said, go up there and do whatever you enjoy doing. And that rang true to me today. That really rang true to me today. I was just very surprised at what my emotions communicated to me as what I currently really enjoy doing, and that's running. Or today, at the very least, that was running. So that would be my answer. Don't ever shy away from that workout that you just feel like is not going to happen. Don't run away from it. Take a moment and assess yourself and really decipher what it is that you want to do today. And whatever that might be, just fucking do it. It doesn't have to be this grandiose idea of what you wanted to do or what you had planned to do. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Fuck all of that. Just enjoy it. Enjoy your exercise. It's the most important part. Thank you. See you tomorrow.